Is the blade as stellar as the residents are evil? That's a good question. I would say yes, but my opinion's worth as much as like a little stone on the side of the street. So take it as you will, really, is what it kind of comes down to. Man. Okay, we're live. Whew. All right. More Stellar Blade. We got 2 more bosses to beat before we finish Matrix 11, so we're going to finish that tonight. But before that, we're also going to dabble in a Stellar Blade adjacent content, and just basically going to do my my event dailies for the the Resident Evil collab and Nikke. Before we do that, I'm going to finish off the rest of this tequila, because I earned it. I earned this, I get, like, blue-collar alcoholism now. I understand it. I sympathize with it. Not that I'm blue-collar, but, you know, I'm adjacent to that, I guess. I use that word a lot. Adjacent's going to be the word of the night. So I'm gonna hit this, and we're going to drink water, and then we're going to play Nikke. Terrible. I can feel that right up in my nostrils, too. Alright, let's see if I say anything shocking today. Sault Ste. Marie Heritage moment, baby! You have to remember, there's 2 Sault Ste. Maries that are across the river from each other. And one of them is in Michigan. So, Sault Ste. Marie, where, you know, all Fitness Canadian blood comes from, for the most part, except for Thunder Bay, is, that was bad. I took that in the face and I'm feeling it. It's adjacent to Michigan, to use our tonight's word, adjacent, which means similar or relevant to or next to, I guess. It's across the river from Michigan. So it's essentially just Canadian Michigan, if you think about it. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I like Michigan, but Michigan definitely has a reputation, has a spirit all its own, I guess, you know what I mean? And that's the thing, is that, like, Detroit's, like, one monster, but, like, the rest of Michigan, and especially, like, the Michigan that, the Sault Ste. Marie is part of, it's on the Upper Peninsula, it's Upper Michigan, so that's its own, own little fucking planet. Alright, so let me fight with my screen. Now that I'm disoriented and absolutely don't know what's going on. We love Michigan here. Anyways. We're biased. Alright, so we'll jump in. Hold on, we gotta click this. Rejuvenating. Makes suffering worth it. Anyways, what were we doing? Resident Evil mission. So literally I'm just gonna probably just like grind through it. Play the mini game, because there's not really anything story wise to kind of catch up on as far as this, because it's we're day 3 and the rest of the story doesn't really unlock. But what I've noticed in the last couple events they've had, so which I guess is kind of cool and kind of annoying at the same time, is, let me actually get out of this for a sec. When you go onto the main storyline of this game, which is actually quite good. If we go to, but you know, it's definitely walled. We gotta go back to like an older campaign just for something's consistency's sake. We'll go here, just for shits and gigs. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but maybe you will by the areas. So these little missions that pop up on the screen here, they're literally just like little diversionary side stories that I thought meant really nothing, and I think like I played them a little bit at launch, and then just for shits and giggles, like a couple months back, I was just like, oh, I gotta juice as much as many rolls as I can. It was for the Stellar Blade event actually, because I was trying to limit break Eve, but we got close, but no cigar, because of the immense greed of immense greed of collaboration roles is what it is. But anyways, so which is probably what's going to happen here. But I got lucky. My greed for Eve is also a thing too. You're right. I wasted time and energy to get it. I got the Ada pretty quick though, which is nice. So I was pretty happy about that. I got her like in the first 2 rolls. I didn't actually have to use up any of my resources, so that was pretty cool. And what's nice about Nikke is, I would say, it's sort of, in my books, I think I talked about this before too, it sort of sets like a standard for, collect all their shit here, for, I don't want to say generosity, because obviously it's a gacha game, and inherently it's not a generous thing by any stretch of the imagination, but, what I do like, which I feel like is something that kind of like newer games don't really have, is when you go to the recruit tab. I don't know how well it's going to show up on the screen or not, but up here, obviously you have your methods of redeeming for 2D women up here, but down at the second row here, these are your like gold and black certs, and those are your like your mileage for rolling on it. And what's nice is that carries on. That's like universal, so it's not like something like, not to go back to this topic again, but Uma Musume, where yeah, you know, it's still 200 rolls gets you a fucking you know, whatever the event. That's your pity essentially. But you know, like I can go in right now. And if I want to save up, because anniversary is coming, so like it's a very stacked back half of the year for Nikke. I can just dump that into Jill next week, and then I still have my mountain of rolls here, which I think is 150. And then even if I use up all of those, that means I'm back up to 200, so I can spend on whatever I want, which is nice. So I'll take that. There's ways you can sort of like strategically plan ahead without just like smogging rolls. I've stolen that from somebody from Instagram, by the way, but I do like using the verb smog, like from Lord of the Rings. Sorry, The Hobbit, to be correct. But what was I saying? Anyways, I've never used a black ticket. I use quite a bit, and that's only because just easier to do that, I guess. And that's why I have like an absurd number of like limit broke characters. I think I have 4 now that are like completely max limit broke, so we got all 10 duplicates. They do have like they never have a unit I want, but like they do have it's good now for certain, like if you're doing I'm yapping and rambling here. If you're doing the favorite items, like this like poly screen here, like that's like one of the ones you have to unlock. You have to hit the max limit break for her before you can actually do anything with it. And I think in the shop, under the tickets thing, which is this one. So this is where you can redeem your tickets. Yeah, they have this one that's like favorite items, season 4, and you can redeem it, and then you can pick. I like the helm one because I don't know, it's cool. It's Kino, but the dog is my favorite Nikke. So, and she's in all the Halloween collaborations, including this one. Anyways, what I was yapping about before I distracted myself yet again, on these, how does that ramble tie into what we were talking about with this Resident Evil event? So those missions on the surface, they initially seem very inconsequential, but one of like these random ones where like you find a guy who's like dressed up as a Rapture, which are the enemies in the game, obviously. And he's like doing science experiments and shit. He becomes like a major character in the current we'll call it Four Beasts Namek arc, because we're gonna call it Namek because it doesn't fucking end. Keeps going and going and going and going, and it's been like the last year of this shit. And I would like it to end because the story's interesting. We don't need to fucking hover around characters we can't play as, but I digress. Whatever. All right, so we'll jump into the minigame while I yap. Anyways, so we can move on. Stellar Blade. This is our little. We'll use Jill even though she's not fucking playable for some reason, and then we'll expand our terrible inventory system here, much like the real Resident Evil one. Upgrade our shit. Get a second gun. My square management is poor, but anyways, I was talking about plot lines. So the plot for this one is just like it's literally a random side story from the surface, and then so like this game opens up, like this event opens up expecting you to remember that little side story plot and recognize like which was like, oh, some daughter is looking for her mother and her mother's part of some like rapture worshipping cult. And that sort of ties into how this universe does its crossover. Do you not remember everything you do with your wife? I don't remember what I did this morning, brother, so don't tell her that. She'll get mad at me. But there was also like fairly major weird little details. Like there was one where you find a music box, and that has like that basically, like, now that we, like, at least I do anyway, because I've played ahead in the plot, but now that I know sort of like the backstory for Annis as an example, they basically like hinted at where the plot was going with her, just in one of those random side story quests. So they actually do have like plot relevant like weird little details that are important. And then this one too, like they haven't shown the character yet, aside from like the little intro animation at the start of the game. You know, we don't need a pistol. We'll just a shotgun. Shotgun's better. And this, you just like, you kill things, and then until you hit like level 22, then it gets impossible. But that's okay. We're just farming it so I can yap about Nikke plot points. Upgrade all our shit. But yeah, it's like this one expects you to remember this little like singular side quest on like the map for like chapter 15 or something like that. Which I think I'm like one of the only people who I talk to that actually plays the game that's that far into it. Because I'm caught up in the plot, because I'm fucking based. But I digress. Yeah, Nikke side story. And then yeah, they decided to be like, all right, we're gonna like weave that into the way that we're gonna do the Resident Evil plot line, and then every collab they've done. So this one, I guess technically Stellar Blade, even though I feel like that one they were sort of weird about it in a couple ways. There's always like some character called the Gatekeeper, which is a rapture that's able to import characters in from parallel universes, and that's how they sort of explain how the collab fits into the story. And that's how you get this, 2 Evangelion events, ReZero, I think the first one was Chainsaw Man. So lots of dumb plot elements to get excited about. I'm gonna toss this over here. In actual Resident Evil, I'm pretty good when it comes to like managing the case, but like this one, it's like in Resident Evil you can rotate things. You know what I mean? You can rotate the case. You can, you know, things aren't as goofily shaped as they are in this. So I digress. Flamethrower is the most overpowered item in this one. It also has its own like upgrade tree as far as like this shit goes. And I think like it if you do that one like AOE damage, it counts towards it. Upgrade all our shit. We'll throw a little another little pistol in there. Just for shits and giggles, really, is what it kind of comes down to. We'll see how far I get without wasting too much time. But this is sort of like the bulk of the dailies. I would say, interesting enough, so they do add like a lot of mini games in for big events, which is kind of nice. And what I do appreciate about the mini games in this game, anyway, is they are a lot more interesting and engaging than, say, something like the ones in like Azur Lane is a good example because to make a very dated boomer comparison, the ones in a game like Azur Lane feel like Neopets minigames is the best way I can describe it. To date myself, as someone who is old enough to be around at the peak of Neopets, like this is obviously like not like a deep game by any stretch of the imagination, but like for the Stellar Blade event, for example, like they had like a actual pretty decently robust mode. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to merge these two. So we can have a better shotgun. Like actually like decently robust mode that sort of played like a shitty version of the Stellar Blade boss battle experience. And then for Anniversary last year, they had like a needlessly deep like Metroidvania game that took hours to beat. Like it was real time consuming shit, which was annoying. It was fun, I'll give it that much, but it was time consuming. It was like one of those things where you had to actually like sit down. That one and the Dave the Diver collaboration. So they had a collabo event that was tied into the second summer event. So not this year's, but last year's summer event. And that was fun. But again, it was like real, like you had to like basically like, all right. Like I always like set aside maybe an hour to an hour and a half, and that includes like fucking around at work time or something like that, where I can just go in, like do all my dailies. If I'm like playing something like Azur Lane, I'll do my like my event grind, because I like what's nice about Azur Lane is like it's pretty hands off for the most part, which I do kind of appreciate. Upgrade our shit. Refresh that. Upgrade our shit. We'll throw another grenade in there. Grenade's pretty overpowered too. Yeah, the Azur Lane ones you can kind of just like hands off. Just set it to auto. I played that game for 4 years now, so I got everything I need as far as like to play through events without any issue, which is nice. Which is cool. But like that one I can sort of play hands off, but like a lot of these like Nikke events, which are like actual time consuming, which is kind of funny. But yeah, like the Dave the Diver one, because I feel like they rightfully went out of their way to make it sort of like an actual like robust mini game, but it's like one of those things where it's like someone like me who is like slightly on the spectrum and needs to like micromanage and finish everything. Like I'm all over collecting, like this one tier 2, there's like stickers that you can use that I never use anyway. But like stickers, there's like random collectible shit. I'm enough of a completionist that I'll go through, I'll complete this. Like this one's pretty easy, so I'm pretty close to being done that. But like I played the entire Dave the Diver event. I played the entire fucking I played that entire fucking minigame for the what you call it? What were we just talking about here? We don't need the pistol. We'll just do that. Played through the entire like Metroidvania. So, what does that make me? I guess stupid. Get that for the advanced monster. So for this one, like you can see that little gold meter at the top there that's going up. That is not really important, but that you need that for like that's how you can upgrade between games, which is nice. So you get like better weapons to start off with, and then like at the beginning of the game there, I was able to like add 12 squares for the case for our little inventory, and you need to like spend like a small fortune in gold to do that. So I think we're on what day 5, yes. Something that goes against TOS, correct. We're not gonna go. We love our terms of service. We love our what's the other word I'm looking for here? Our community guidelines on YouTube here, and we would never ever go against the community guidelines, right? Because remember, it's 2025. I can say retard without consequence, which is nice. Not for people who fall under that descriptor, obviously, but I just like saying funny words, I guess. I'll be honest with you. Today so I think I talked about it last week, and that's sort of why we didn't stream yesterday either. But like, I'm in a I've been working an extra about 11 to 12 hours a week now, just so I can catch up. We're going on vacation in a couple weeks, so we're not going to have streams obviously during that because I will be in Europe doing European things, which are not working and smoking cigarettes, I guess, are the kind of like, I think the two universal European traits I can think of. Mainland Europe, anyway. But we're going to be doing that. That's going to be pretty keynote, I guess. In good old Italy. Going to go to the Eternal City again for a little bit. Go see Rome. Rome's nice. I like Rome. I'm not a big city guy. But I think someone who has is like a big history buff. Can I merge it? Oh, I can't. Okay, so gold is when it caps out, so that's good. Okay, good to know. But we got 2 gold grenades now. Someone who A is a history buff, and B, very recently, I guess, is sort of rediscovered his relationship with God in a way over the last like year and a half. I don't know. I like Rome. I think it's like a lot of history there. It's a cool place. There's a lot of things to see, and both like kind of like European history and kind of like the history of like Christianity and stuff like that as well too. Because obviously it's, you know, like the home of Catholicism. And like the modern like European equivalent of Christianity in general and stuff like that. And you can see a lot of history. Like Vatican's really cool. I'm not going to be going back this year for time constraints, but it's like the Jubilee's going on, so like there's a lot of stuff happening like pertaining to like Catholic history and the significance of going on pilgrimages and stuff like that as well too. That's where that little like mascot came from. I forget her name right now, but I think this is my best run yet, which I don't think means much, but because we're half dead. But the grind keeps going. I'll take that. No, we won't. We'll just keep going. We don't need any items. We'll just go till we die. And then we'll switch to Stellar Blade. But yeah, I'm excited for vacation. I got my pumpkin up. I don't know if you can see that in the background there. I probably got to get a new. It's a dollar store pumpkin, so it's not like it's a big deal. But like, I noticed there's like this crack in it here. Can't really see it when it's over in the background. But why that's significant is I got real drunk on Halloween, and I like kept like slamming it. Like I kept throwing it in the air and just like punching it into the ground. And that's the only crack it got. So that thing is fucking robust. That's a robust pumpkin. So good on it. It survived my drunken antics. I'm just not going to use the burst. I'm just going to see if we go until we die, and we're down to a quarter health now. You can see at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if my face is cutting it off, but no, it's not, because this is a vertical experience. There we go. All right, we did pretty good. I'm happy with that. So we will claim our challenges, and we literally only have the ones to go. So the Claire and the Ada ones, that doesn't unlock until like week 2, week 3, so I can't really do anything with that. And then use that burst skill. So we've done all the actual challenges. So like I said, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy minigame. We'll do our little missions here. We're not going to play co-op because I can't be fucking bothered. And I don't want to do it on stream because I feel like there's too many guys that like waste time in the co-op mode, which is stupid, but whatever, it is what it is. But you gotta do it for grinding materials, so that's fine. And then we also got our Ada, and we got our Claire set up as well too. So we got our lobby set up. Anyways, we'll go back to our little face cam here, so you can look at my stupid face, my stupid fucking Oguri cap hat. This will so we're going to go back to like having the Halloween setup in the background. Obviously, when I come back from vacation. Probably nothing next week aside from Mr. Crack Pumpkin here. Not because I can't be bothered, but because it's like, I don't know, like we'll do it closer to Halloween. Like I'm back on the second half of the month. That's when shit gets the spookiest. The spookiest, some would say. Setup. We'll have a very a fitting dollar store kind of poverty setup that I enjoy. We'll have the lights up again. I'm not taking down the flag because we love Le Seraphim here. We love America. We love our K-pop baddies, etc., etc. I don't care. I like their music. That's just how it is. Oh, we're having a little bug here. Ooh. See if that continues to work or not. Yeah, there we go. Had a frame drop for a sec there. I don't know if it's because I was booting up Stellar Blade or something. I don't see how that would matter actually. Now that I think about it, but it looks like I'm back on my end. I don't know if that's reflecting on the actual stream portion of it. There we go. Okay, cool. I know I'm a few seconds ahead of like the actual what you guys are seeing. So, but from what I can see, I look like I'm normal again. Okay, cool. A little scared there for a second there because the frame rate dropped drastically, but grab my controller. All right, we'll jump back into Stellar Blade now that it's nice and updated. So I know there was an update recently that sort of tied into I don't know if it tied into the Resident Evil launch or not. I don't know if it was Resident Evil or if it was kind of like a Silent Hill tribute now that Silent Hill F came out. Which I would like to play, but I don't want to pay. I think we were talking about this. I talked about this on the gram, and I don't know if we were talking about it on the other stream as well too, but it's like $95 fucking before tax Canadian, $93.50 or something like that. And I ain't paying that shit. So I'm gonna wait till that game goes on sale. Maybe I'll stream it, maybe not. I don't know. It's kind of dated. I think by the time Konami decides to relent and actually give us like something on sale, it'll be past its relevance anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a Silent Hill spin-off game set in Japan is kind of gonna only have so much pull. Not that I don't play like older games on here. Like, we're playing Stellar Blade right now, right? This is a game that came out over a year ago. And then the PC version came out almost a year to the day after the original one came out. Right? So. But I digress. It's relevant. I enjoyed this game immensely, so I don't give a fuck what anyone really has to say. We're going to get a nice spoiler-heavy experience when we get to the third boss. But if you've been watching since the first stream, you kind of saw it coming. These guys are the worst enemies in the game. I fucking hate them. Especially we're not going to probably see yet, but there is like an optional area. A little bit later in the game. And that only reason we're not doing it is just because it affects kind of like one of the two endings that we can get. So there's 3 endings of the game. One of them requires you to play through said optional area, which is annoying. Only because, like, it's not, like, there isn't, like, new enemies or anything there, but, like, there's no new enemies or anything like that, but they just, like, increase, like, the damage enemies do significantly, which is really annoying. Okay, we need to find the, what you call it for that. I guess we gotta go back up. Kill these squid guys. He's not looking. We can backstab him. Kill the squid. Don't come back here, you bastard. There we go. Nope. Fuck. Found a body. So what's annoying with the squid heads is that if you don't kill them, they latch on to like just random corpses in the area, or they just come after you. So yeah, there's no more bodies, and they just kind of like roll their way over to you and stuff like that, and then you kill them. But they're not a difficult enemy by any stretch of the imagination, which is nice. I think this is what the passcode's for. Yeah. Too lazy to memorize all these fucking Greek letters. Oh, ta-da! So smart, guys. Get some lore, just because it gives you XP. And then we need a shit ton for, so because this is New Game Plus, there's like new skills you can find. So this one, if I'm not mistaken, is, I don't know if I could see the, because that was an outfit, yeah. So we gotta unlock it, but that one I think is my favorite one. Weirdly enough, is, if I can find it, it's this one here, the Daily Mascot. I don't know. I like comfy looking. Oh, I like women dressed comfily, I guess, is the way it is. There's a couple of skins that I feel like are very similar to that in Azur Lane that have that, and I think Yeah, it's not showing up here, so we gotta go back to like one of the save spots. I can manufacture it, but I think that would be the new game plus variant of it because I've collected it previously. Where are we going here? We are going in that corner with the core. Toss that in there. Take the elevator, and then boom. Progress is resumed. Yeah, like it's the baton one for sure, and there's one for Fusu that it reminds you of that too, and that one also has like voice lines that cause me physical pain. we'll leave it at that. But yeah, I like the daily mascot. I like you can like obviously right now we're using like the Annis get up, so she's got like the hat with the hairpin and stuff like that too, just like our beloved true protagonist of Nikke. But yeah, like the degree of customization is pretty cool. Oh no, puzzles, my brain's not working. Okay, so we have to move this. What? Was it timed, or was there like a limited number of movements and I just wasn't paying attention because I'm retarded? It could be both. Or we're just moving the wrong thing. Okay. Yeah, we were anyway, so it doesn't matter. Do. Nope. Oh, I just died. Okay, because it activates right away. There we go. Nope, I fucked that up. Yeah, I'm gonna back out of that. It's like the Bionicle stream all over again. We don't talk about that though. Hasn't exactly been memory hold, but fuck. Better try it again here. Uh-oh, light puzzles. Yeah. This is what I get for pounding a half a bottle of tequila. Well, not like a quarter bottle of tequila before I decided to stream. That was a fucking stupid idea. Oh, no, we fucked it up. Can't move it after it starts, the water starts flowing. I think I don't know if it resets every time or I'm just like not paying attention either. Okay, we got it this time at least. Yay! Only took too many tries. At least it didn't take me like pausing the stream and then spending an hour fucking trying to do a light puzzle. Sounds like water. Thank you, Adam, for your fucking insightful commentary. And I think, if I remember down here, we can kind of swim underneath. Remember, we're cybernetically enhanced space women, so we're allowed to, we can breathe underwater. Get this, which I think is... Nope, let me back up so I can get it. I think this is a health upgrade. Or, Not sure which one it is. It's either a body or a I forget the other ones. These whatever they call the skills. Yeah, beta skills. So beta core. So we are halfway to that. Nope, dive, damn it. And we got one earlier. I think there was only 3 or something like that in this whole fucking area anyway, which is kind of handy. But I don't think it was that way. It was this way. Yeah, it was just a fucking door alarm. Do. There's a lot of missable cans in this fucking area too. Like, not permanently missable. You didn't miss any boss fights yet. No, you're good. Realistically, we kind of just started. Because we played Nikke for the most of it so far. But we got one coming up real soon. The second of 3.
It's like we're just going around in circles.
Don't worry. I'm keeping track of our stats.
I don't know if it's here I can unlock. No, this is just our fucking skill tree. We can probably unlock a couple on here too. We use the stabby one a lot, so it's good to have that. Yeah, but this like the crosswave one is like the most broken in the game. Because you can even use it. We'll use it on the next boss just for fucking just sake of just cheesing it, just to be an asshole. But you can cheese the final boss of the game with it too, which is kind of fucking stupid. You sit the fuck down, buddy. Kill this horrible thing. There's like biomechan, not to spoil much, but there's later in the game there's like biomechanical versions of these guys that are fucking stupid annoying on the last sort of like major area of the game. Come on, you fuck. There we go. Well, I'm plugging my headset somehow. Yeah, exactly. Like the quintuplet spam too is like, but like I think with the quintuplet versus the crosswave, like the quintuplet does a lot of damage and it also like knocks off like how many fucking whatchamacallits that you need to use for the boss, like the parry requirements, but it doesn't like the crosswave compared to the quintuplet like knocks over bosses, which is fucking real cheap. So like, yeah, a little posture's good though. Just knock him down and then just fucking go in for like the final kill, like spam attacks. Oh look, my favorite enemy again. Is this one facing us? He is, okay. This is the shittier version of it. There we go. Well, at least we can just beta skill it till it fucking dies, so. We made it work. Basically, like when you level it up to a certain point, yeah, as long as you have enough beta energy, and like I've gotten all like the max like beta upgrades you can get in the first playthrough. Fuck, I missed that. How? So you can literally just like keep spamming that. Like you can't really see it from where my face is. Hold on a sec here. Hold on, I'm in a fight still apparently. Oh. This game has almost too much soundtrack. So any named area in the game that we go into, there's like at least 3 different variations to the soundtrack, which is kind of key now. Oh, another body. Another angel. So we'll get that. I think this one's health. So that's a body core. No, another beta core. Okay, that's a good thing. But anyways, what was I saying? So, smash that. So it brings up the main menu. No, it doesn't. Okay. Okay. So down here, you can kind of see those 4 bars. So the big long white ones are health. The one below that shield, and then there's that red and blue one. Red one is for your kind of like your special attacks here, and then the blue one is for your beta. And if I remember correctly, you can farm like beta just by doing like regular damage attacks and breaking shield, and you can also get it for successful parries. And then the other attack style, you have to like have successful dodges. And I think we need another beta core, right? We don't have one. Okay, yeah. So we gotta go back. So I think going this way, yeah, okay. Oh, here a robot somewhere. Oh, he's up here. A drone. Kill him. Alright, passcode, that's good. I didn't see a chest yet, but I'm probably going in the right direction this way. Doo-doo-doo. Wow, a sewer level in a video game? What a novel concept. We haven't been joking about this since like 2013. Yeah, it's parry focused, you're right. Okay, good call. Body. Take that. Get some lore. Why is there a hint on screen? Yeah, you understand there's a fusion cell in the sewage. I'm not retarded. Doo-doo-doo. I hear another drone too, somewhere. That's probably the password box. Yep. Nope. They're a different one. I know, such a novel concept having a sewer level. Fuck, we didn't kill him in time. You're stupid, Adam.
I was focused on the box. That was bad of me.
That's why you're wearing the fucking near head. So we don't have to look at his dumb face. Alright, where are we versus the fusion core? Back up here. Literally the same area. Okay, perfect. Sensational, even. Didn't mean to swing across.
I can feel warmth from this place.
There's evidence that survivors were once here.
So this one has a lot of side quests associated with it. This little like little survivor lair, which is kind of cool. And then there's a lot of we're not reading them by any stretch of the imagination because I can't be bothered right now. But like a lot of these like little lore things. Sewer level is ass. Yeah. Like little lore tidbits and the ones you can find like. Oh, never mind. Little cutscene here quickly.
From the looks of it, this place has been abandoned for a long time.
Then why do I feel warm?
Well, let's take a look around.
I think this is the box that code was for. Yep. Okay, we're not gonna be fucking around with that. Squiggly thing. Bam. Okay, there we go. There we go. Easy. It's like I'm a fucking expert at Greek or something.
Is this a water bottle?
No. This is the last gift the god ever thought to give us. Oh, Bacchus.
I don't know, a body. Not enough of those in this game.
I think someone slept here.
Not a good place for sweet dreams.
So I think like the significance of this little area with these little tidbits
Yeah, music was an invaluable source of comfort for
is like I mentioned, and what I think like a lot of people who criticize the character, criticize the character of Eve kind of don't really grasp. Um, is like this is a company that's up until this point has made exclusively Gooner Gacha games, right? Like let's be honest here, they made Nikke, Destiny Child. They worked on like a couple other ones that are in Korea too, like some of the team and stuff like that, right? So of course they're gonna make a character, even if they're gonna make it in like a AAA context that is like objectively sexy. But I think the kind of like the important part of this is like a lot of criticism from people who I feel like maybe didn't really play the game. They kind of only saw the previews, or they played like the first little bit of the game before they decided to really contribute commentary. Um, like the criticism is that it's just like, oh, like Eve is this character that's uninteresting, has no personality, and is just there to like gawk at. Is just there to be eye candy, right? To be there to be the female form for our sexual gratification is sort of like the sort of this like kind of boomer feminist style criticism of it. And you can make that argument, I guess, right, if you really want to, but I think what's more like kind of genuinely interesting about it is that like she starts off that way as this sort of like doll-esque character, doesn't have a personality, doesn't really understand anything that's going on, and then as the plot goes on, and you can kind of see that with like your interactions with certain NPCs, and you can kind of see that with like her observations throughout the game and stuff like that. And but as it goes on, she sort of like gets in touch with like she's like a curious character, and she sort of gets in touch with humanity and her humanity a little bit as well too, being someone who is essentially like a murder puppet from a space station, right? And I think like that's not really something that people talk about too much as far as like when they talk about the game and criticize the game, just because not to go into the whole like herder game journalists have an agenda tripe, but like, you know, a lot of them do have an agenda, and a lot of them because of that they're not really kind of like looking into the bigger picture. And I'm not saying that's like there's some brilliant plot aspect of this game, like it's not like it's ooh, another suit. Like I don't want to say it's like a shallow game experience, because it's not, but it's like this isn't revolutionizing
But it smells nice.
post-apocalyptic science fiction by any stretch of the imagination, right? Like I would never give this game that credit, and that's the point. It's not trying to either, right? But it is a lot more interesting and a lot kind of deeper than they're willing to give it credit for, which is fun.
It's a place to honor the dead. They're still waiting for the salvation Mother Sphere promised them.
Yeah.
I want to send the memories left here to Mother Sphere. That's where they belong.
Don't mind me.
I'll help.
Zen up while we watch cutscene. Yeah, exactly. It does what it does well, not to reinvent anything. And like, I'm not asking it to be like this like deep, relevant plot line. But I'm just saying is that like it's like, I like it and it's fun, and I think that like if you're finding like yeah, that's what Nier's for. Yeah, Nier is sort of like the circle jerk equivalent of this one, right? Where it's like, it's a lot more compared to Stellar Blade. I would say Nier, and really like the Yoko Taro experience in general, is a lot more I don't want to say self-indulgent, but I think maybe that might be kind of the word, where it is more of like kind of like a circle jerky kind of experience, especially when it comes to like plot and stuff like that, and being like this sort of like philosophical thing. Yeah,
It's an instrument ancient people played to try to attract
I forgot about that. That's true. The only reason to play guitar is either you're afraid of women or you're trying to attract women. There's no in between. All right, let's open this door now that we got our little fusion core. Get some gold. Not that I've ever like needed gold in this game, that's for sure. All right, we're gonna kill him. We're gonna. Nope, you saw us. Fuck you. He did. I don't like those guys. What I don't like about him is because like that version of that enemy, it's like the timing on the parries is really awkward. And it's really annoying because that's like an enemy you find in the first area too. So you're like, it's a good shit test for the game in term because this is one that's like maybe not so much now because like I'm fucking powerful as shit. Let's be honest here, but especially on the second playthrough, right? Because like it's like I kind of have a grasp of the game, and I kind of have you know like all your shit carries over, and you can upgrade further. That's the puking monster. Hold on, we're gonna kill this guy. And you start off with beta skills, and you start off with double jump and stuff like that, and then you kind of you're goated as fuck. Really, is what it is. You're right. And then you can upgrade even further too, right? So like by the time you like we got to this point, like I think we fought like 6 bosses, give or take, and each one of those on top of the stuff that you would find just lying around, like the weapon upgrades and the beta cores and stuff like that. By that point, yeah, exactly. You're fucking goated, bro. Hold on. Frame rate dropped again. Oh, I'm just going to pause it for a sec. Alright, it's back on my end. Okay, so we can keep streaming. It's the Canadian internet experience. Oh, look, another dead angel. So this one's got to be a body core. No, it's still beta core. Oh, whatever. We got an upgrade. Doesn't matter. There we go. Now we're even more goated. Too powerful for our own good. This way. I don't even think he even puked out one of the squids. Okay, cool. Good enough for me. So I think this is it for shitty sewer areas. So I'm happy with that. Put the box over here. So this ones like this require like a certain drone upgrade. Not that there was anything valuable in it, just gold. But like obviously, like I said, everything sort of carries over. Wow, conveniently laid down bodies that I can't interact with. I wonder what's going to happen with those when we activate the lift. This isn't a fucking cliche by any stretch. Not at all. Whee! And you can see there's one of those guys down there. Can I shoot it? Oh, I can. Ho, ho, ho. Come on, I need to switch ammo. Nope. I didn't even see that fucker. Huh, there we go. I think we kind of got ahead of ourselves on that one. Yay! Thank you, overpowered explosive ammo. Alright, and then we got like an actual... So, the camps, like that one, I don't know if I mentioned the last time, but obviously if you played the game, you get it. But these are also your fast travel, because you will, like, even these, like, sort of, like, dungeon-esque areas, like, you will be coming back to these for side quests, shit like that. Spend a little coin here. So you can use the phone to fast travel. This is our little upgrade terminal here. So we're capped out on the tumbler. I think we have tumbler hands too, though, yeah, and gear sockets. Alright. Oh, yeah, so it is. So this one is, like, the... playthrough 2 version of the yeah, exactly, waves of goons on an elevator. Never heard of that before. So these are like the second playthrough versions of it. So obviously that one's the same as the other mascot one, which is kind of cool. We're gonna stick with the Annis, obviously, because we do that. We get a little yapping on the chair here quickly.
Yes?
I analyzed the pattern, and the noise translates to kill me.
Whoa!
Well, we'll find out more once we get...
What could it be?
I wonder what it means.
We'll find out after one more boss fight. Just right now. Any games I'm hyped for? Not really. Well, that's not true. I'm excited for oh, I ran into that like an idiot. Okay. So we talked about this last time. When he flashes yellow, those are undodgeable attacks. When he flashes, or not undodgeable. Sorry, that's not the right way of describing it. Unparryable attacks. Yeah, see, knockdown. Easy to spam that shit. Now, if remember, this guy has like an AoE blast attack. You guys can use it right now. And then the beta skills are good for like interrupting like boss spam. Okay, so shield's gone. We'll heal up anyway. We'll just do like the finishing move on him to knock him off, just for shits and gigs. Anyways, games I'm excited for. Not really. Digimon Story Time Stranger comes out next week. That's kind of like the only big game that I'm super kind of pumped for. There's a lot of Gacha Slop coming out in October that I'm kind of not really like pumped for, but I'm kind of like eager to try. So we'll probably watch that on stream. But other than that, yeah, there's not really anything that I'm like mega amped for, I guess. You know what I mean? That we haven't announced for. I know they showed off. It's right here. We'll go kill the boss. We'll go upgrade our fucking sword damage, so we can continue to be goated. Not that really anything has put up a serious fight so far, but we'll see how the next boss goes. But that one I beat first try anyway, so it's okay. They did announce Forza Horizon 6, and it's in Japan, and I like Forza Horizon. It's not really like it's not really a game to get like super amped for, right? Like I'm not like shitting my pants over it, but it is nice that I don't have to pay for it because it's on Game Pass, so that it's got that going for it. I also like how there's like another save area immediately after the boss fight too, which is right here. Even though it's like a minor one, but it's good to have. I probably will stream Digimon. We'll see. Probably not launch week, but like I will just for shits and gigs.
It just has bad news written all over it. Damn, it's been flooded with water.
So we'll find it just for shits and giggles too. But this area is where our the cover the cover image for these streams are. Yeah, Battlefield comes. I'm like not like. Again, Battlefield's not one of those things I'm like shitting my pants over, but like that I'm looking forward. Like me, the era of me being like mega excited for first-person shooter has been like long past. You know what I mean? Like that was like Modern Warfare 2 on the 360. It was like the last time I was just like, yeah, baby, like this is gonna be lit. I'm excited for it. You know, watching the E3 preview stream where it shows like that snowmobile fight and stuff like that in the game. I remember that on my shitty home computer in my bedroom. That my parents foolishly gave me because we obviously use that for less than wholesome purposes. But, you know, it is what it is. I was a young lad at that time. A little tumbler module there, too. Ooh. Squids! Okay, we put them out of their misery. If I remember correctly... So yeah, this is where that. So the cover for this image is the stream is the Canada Dry equivalent they put in the game, which I think they put like Newfoundland Dry or something like that. And I got when I saw it, I got stupidly excited over it because I thought it was funny. There you go, boom. Nothing worthwhile in here. Hold on, maybe there is. Nope. Oh, at least not that I'm gonna bother searching for. Hold on. Let me surface, goddammit. The swimming's a little janky in this game. That's like the only thing I really have any sort of criticism for. Is like kind of how this. Not that it sucks, but it's like yeah, there's like a degree of jank to it.
I don't really know.
Didn't get to use the backstab on him, but we'll take it. Let me kill it. There we go. There we go. If I remember correctly, like we don't need any of the cans. Like that's one of those things. Like I got like first playthrough with all the cans because I'm not dealing with that shit. Too many cans, too many weird ways to find them. It's a fun little like gimmick though, like having them as a collectible and stuff like that. But yeah, too much work. And I think it's over here. And I think if I go down, there's a little area I can swim underneath. Down there, I think. There's a hole in one of these. Boop -a -doop -a -boo. There it is. On the fence line. I think that's it in the corner there. Usually our little drone starts fucking freaking out when there's a can nearby. Yeah, right here. Nope, that's a different one entirely. Never mind. I got excited for nothing and oversold it. Okay, whatever. Too much work for nothing. That's fine. That's the story of my life. Anyways, where are we going? Anyway, it's here is all I'm trying to say. Ah! Another angel corpse. This one has to be a body core, right? There we go. Okay. So yeah, one more, and then that increases max health. So collecting those is good. And this way is where we want to go.
It's blocked. We need a security code.
I probably don't have it yet. That's what that.
We'll give this place a proper inspection.
Fuck you, Adam.
Didn't you notice during your scan? This is storage for valuables.
There's a body in this train. Do you have the code? He does.
Now let's go.
That was easy.
Already? How about we look around a little?
Shut up.
Just a little.
I mean, what's the point?
See, she gets it.
This kind of work, a thorough search is the bare minimum.
We found a can of piratey themed ale. Good enough for me. Capital L, or not. There we go. Boom. So one thing I think is weird that they haven't really reconciled lore-wise. So obviously the Natiba enemies are all kind of like mutant flesh monsters, right? And then they have this like infection overgrowth, and you see that here. You see that in the little like horror game-esque shooter levels and stuff like that, right? Too, like the Lavoirs they call them. But near the end of the game, like there's robot enemies that we can find in the overworld that we fought with already, and near the end of the game there's like biomechanical drones and stuff like that, right? Like we'll run into that probably in a later playthrough, but
Can't say it's entirely useless, though.
I don't care about that. I just want a bath.
same. Even though I showered right before the stream. Gotta be presentable for my 5 viewers, you know? And wear a hat afterwards, too, while I do it. Oh, good times. Oh, quick time. Woo! Ah, we could have taken him anyway. It doesn't matter.
You okay?
Another one of these. Wee. Oh, I dug it. Missed a jump. Oh no. It wasn't even that difficult. I just fucking hit A like an idiot. There we go. How dramatic.
Well, gotta love a challenge.
So that segment, now half the chat will understand, because half the chat are Canadian millennials, but we had we had this what's the word I'm looking for against it? Again, not PSA, public service announcement. And it wasn't like war amps, it was like the children's, like, oh my god, I gotta Google it now. What the fuck was it? So they had this like ad campaign in the mid 90s that aired from like mid 90s to the 2000s. And there's a PSA, and it was called Planet Danger. And it was actually it was older than that. It was from 1980. It was in commercials from 1984. So like not a decade, but like years before I was born. And it was on TV until the year 2000, which is insane. It was a little 16-year run, and it was this like 3D like weird kind of like robot thing. I don't remember what it was. It did look good for the time even too, but it was like this like, yeah, exactly. I can put my arm back on, but you can't. So play safe was the line. This robot's like fucking jumping through saw blades and shit like that, gets his arm cut off, and then it reattaches its arm. And I remember like there was something about like war amps. That's what it was, war amps, okay. Jesus Christ. War amps for kids, you're right. That shit was hard, buddy. And same thing, and like we had like anti-drug PSAs too that were like traumatic and like had puppets and shit like that. And there was a JonTron video that talked about it, and there was a bunch of them on there that like unlocked fucking core memories for me. But I have one. There's this one that was like these two little like Muppets ass puppets, and they had a song, and the song was like, "Don't you put it in your mouth," and it was like, "Don't find things off the fucking." Yeah, it did look like Reboot, but again, that's a Canadian thing. It was probably the same company that did that. Reboot was like early Canadian, like 90s Canadiana on television was honestly the fucking. It was the shit. Reboot. Yeah, don't you put in your... I remember I got up once, and I was like... I got up before my parents, and I was like 8. 8 or 9 years old, something like that. And I remember I got up, and I was like, oh, it's Saturday morning. We're going to watch some cartoons. Mom and Dad are still in bed, so like nobody can fucking bother me. And I got... I got up, and I was still like, it was like 6 a.m. asleep, I got up, I turned the TV in the basement on, and that Don't You Put It In Your Mouth came on, and it just in my childhood sleeping, like still asleep fugue state, I remember I watched it, and I just got up, turned the TV off and just went back to bed. It was just like so bizarre. Just my reaction to it was just like it threw me the fuck off. I don't know why, but
This place. The air's different.
like I wasn't traumatized by it by any stretch, but it was just like it was an early what the fuck moment for me. Okay, these guys are gonna explode, so just dodge them. Whoop. Fuck you. And my favorite enemy again. Wow. Wow. Okay, he's dead. Too easy. Now, I think this is where we are for... Yeah, this is the little ominous stretch before our third boss fight. Oh, squid. It's a squid shitter. Getting fucking exploded on over here. This is our last little fast travel spot. Yeah, we had body break. We had house hippos.
We're very close to the alpha signal.
House hippos is very
Just up the stairs.
poignant in today's sort of like world of like it was ahead of its time because like it was like, oh, a little raven chat.
He's a second airborne.
Let's not interrupt this because we love Raven here.
Maybe we'll be able to finally solve the mystery of that last legacy.
Shut up, Lily.
Wait, hold on.
Better airborne squad members are speaking.
Don't worry.
Never mind, we're not going to listen to it yet.
Check the legacy after.
Adam interrupted us with this fucking logic.
Yes. For now, we should focus on fighting the Alpha Nativa. I'll hold on to it. Let's go.
Yeah, like we had all these like like PSAs as kids that were like, you can't believe everything you see on TV, right? And I feel like why that's like, now it's like the internet, you know what I mean? Like we live in these sort of like bubbles of like misinformation, and like it's like there's just people that go on Twitter and lie, and then like even the mainstream media and like other people will just like report bullshit as fact, right? Like not to get into the Charlie Kirk comments yet, but it's just like we know what happened, but like all of the stuff surrounding that, like that's like a fairly major event, and it's just like there's people out there who just can't get the fucking story straight. You know what I mean? All right, a little HP upgrade for the boss. Let's go. All right, you got guys going around like still like conspiracy theorying and shit like that, regardless of their fucking political slant, and it's just like, bruh, like, shut up. I don't want to talk about this anymore. You know what I mean? It's fucking frustrating. All right, so let's get into the boss fight.
Place.
This is an ancient water purification system.
It's got meat on it.
This is the source of the contamination.
Yes, we're finally here.
Nope.
Look, there's something hanging in the air. Looks like a human. I think they're alive.
Ooh.
What should we do?
We have to save them from the contamination.
What's that noise?
Look, guys, it's Tacky. You know, from the intro. From the beginning of the game. Wow.
How are you here?
That wasn't going to be obvious at all.
The alpha signal is spiking.
That's enough, I need people.
Yes, the same boomers on face on that told you not to don't believe the internet. Yeah. 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 I didn't mean to do that. Alright, we're gonna go tacky mode when we play tacky. That's meta! I'm surprised you were allowed to do this, considering that story-wise you don't have it yet. Alright. Shit, we got hit. Damn it, I missed the fucking dodge. Got her. This was much more difficult the first time around. This is one of the cooler, I would call them, like, set piece boss fights. And, like, even later on, like, in the last kind of major area, like, every one of these fights is sort of like that, which is kind of neat. Like, they might not have some major lore significance, but you just get, like, these really fucking elaborate boss fights. Like, multi-stage. Which are really cool. I'm gonna heal up quick. We just need one more block, then we can do the. I gotta actually block properly and do the fucking parry on time. Come on. There we go. Get the retribution in.
It's over. Yes.
Eve. The subjugation is being lifted.
Cut the core out of her. Ooh.
I've been waiting for this moment. Now you can rest. Yes. My Eve. Thanks for freeing me.
Will the memory stick be destroyed? Because it's already contaminated.
No, it won't be.
Whoa.
In that case, are we floating among the stars? To space?
Taki! I promise, Taki. May your memories live on. Forever.
I don't want to be caught onto this already, but it's like very obvious there. And it was sort of like insinuated in that little like survivor area we were in when we saw the shrine. But everyone in this future, your memories get saved on like a fucking USB stick. And you bring them up to space, and that's sort of like going to heaven in this case, is your memories get backed up, and then you're in space on this giant AI-powered space station. Now, I think we get to see the legacy that Raven did, and then we'll call it after that. And then obviously next stream, unlocked, we got the second kind of like big hub area, and then we'll go from there. But if I remember correctly, there are some substantial revelations in this legacy for the plot, so you can kind of get a better grasp of obviously where the plot's going. Like I said, it's not deep, but fucking Yoko Taro in the corner there.
Airborne squad member who themselves became an Alpha Nativa. Is this the work of the Elder? Could I take a look at her memory stick?
Exactly. Great server in this guy.
Here.
It feels different from the Elder Nativa. I can dimly make out the image of a Nativa bearing black wings.
Black wings. It's the one that attacked Taki and me. It has to be. But why?
I can feel the hatred, but I cannot feel the source.
Why? Why does it hate us?
It's not unusual for Nativas to humans. But this,
Can't take it seriously.
It's not yet within the scope of my personal league. The same goes for the other Alpha Nativa.
Fucking Atom Smasher in the corner there.
We'll need another hypercell.
Where should we go this time?
This time, the hypercell is at the easternmost reaches of the desert, Abyss Lavoir.
Another zombie shooting segment.
This one won't be easy either.
Let's hurry.
Yes.
It's actually quite easy. That one's easier than the first run. But the desert has a lot more shit going on for it. Has some more shitty enemies. I guess we're not watching the Legacy. I don't know what's going on. You go back to the old ship arena.
as you know from first-hand experience, it is not an easy fight.
I'm aware of that. But I promise, I will find it. And I will make it pay.
That's the kind of mistake you can't make twice.
What? What did you say?
Nothing. Let's just prepare ourselves to go to Lavoir. Go to the safe house when you're ready to leave.
That's right, Adam. You fuck off. Now, the most important part is the Doro here yet. That we will find out momentarily. Woo! Dun, dun, dun. Nope. Guess I gotta do a certain number of side quests for the fucking trigger. Whatever. I'm not mad about it. Never really been doing any side quests, to be fair. Just through the plot. But whatever, it is what it is. Now, what's cool about the next area, and I don't think I have to do it again, but... So this is a side quest too. This one's actually kind of funny. I'm going to trigger it. This one's easy to do.
Thinking so negatively. What's going on? Angel! I'm so sorry about this. I wasn't actually...
Not non-committal to the suicide attempt there.
What's the matter? Angel? Have you ever been in love? What? Love? I was in love once. Truly in love. There was no storm we could not weather as long as we had each other. Along our journey, we were attacked by a Nikke somewhere in the desert on the way to Zion. He was just trying to protect me, but his corpse, it sunk into the depths of the oasis. Like a fool, I ran away alone, and I left him there. In cold water. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done what I did. The guilt eats away at me day after day. I couldn't do anything else but cry and cry. Leaving Zion, it was just too dangerous to imagine. You do what anyone else does. You find a way to make it on your own. Well, that's what I thought at the time too. But what's the point in living anymore if I can't have him? The memory stick might be damaged. It was in the water for a long time. It's alright. Even if the memories really are lost. If I just had something to remember him by. I'll search near the oasis. Really? I can't believe it. Thank you. If you can do that for me, I'll forever be in your debt. Thank you so much. There's no guarantee that I'll be able to find him.
Pretty easy one to find, actually. Let's just say that we'll find out. We're not going to do it right away. We'll do it next stream. But let's just say there's a little bit of... There's going to be some holes in her story.
Eve, I've been waiting for you.
Do you have good news?
I do. Well, I finished customizing the tacky device.
Wow, we already had it.
So you can now use Tacky's weapon and skills.
Really? I didn't think that kind of thing would be possible. That's amazing, Lily. I'm sure Tacky would have been happy to see this. Good work.
I gotta say, one thing that throws me off about the Anna skin is, like, the depth of that belly button. It's also very high up. It's, like, here. Mine's down here. It's here. Anyways, whatever. So I guess we're not watching the fucking other thingamabobber. So we're gonna call it here for now. Very productive stream. Lots of shit done. So next week will be the last stream before vacation. So Friday will probably be Stellar Blade, and then Saturday will be we got some kind of like freemium horror slop, we'll call it, is the best way I can really describe what we're going to be dipping into next week. Not that any of it's going to be real truly sloppy. I like to use slop in a positive connotation. That's just sort of what we do on this terrible stream that I fucking share every once in a while. But yeah, those are going to be the last two. Then I'm going to be on vacation for Canadian Thanksgiving, and then Canadian Thanksgiving, and then the weekend after that. So that kind of that 2 weekend period, and then when we get back, that's when we're going to get into the Halloween slop. With the setup in the background, I'll have some costumes. It'll be a good time. And then because it's October, I'll bring back the Thursday gotcha slot because, like I said, there's a couple games that are coming out next month that are, some are gotcha, we'll call it mobile slot, I guess, in this case, because one of them isn't really like it was a gotcha game, and they sort of like changed a couple months back, re-announced how that they were going to it's not going to be a gotcha anymore. It's almost going to be sort of like a quasi battle pass system, so similar to something like Warframe. So they're getting rid of the gambling mechanics to it, and that seems to be like a selling point, which has got people pretty hyped. Forget what it's called, but we got two that we'll dabble with next week or next month on Thursdays. One before Halloween and then the other one afterwards. But we got some Kino lined up. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. But for now, next week will be more dog shit, but it'll be kind of like the start. Like I said, we'll play some horror games. Maybe I'll have maybe I'll start the Halloween setup. We'll see how lazy I get on a Saturday, and I get pretty lazy on Saturdays, to be fair. But we'll figure that out when we cross that bridge. Until now, have a good night, guys, and then we will see you next Friday for more Stellar Blades. So yeah, bye.